While there are still many unanswered questions about this particular variety of the virus that causes COVID-19, here is what we know so far. Winnipeg soccer star inspires young girls. Manitoba health official urges pregnant women to get COVID-19 vaccine. Manitoba health official addresses potential COVID-19 impacts on menstrual cycle. Manitoba man takes to the steps of legislature demanding end to prohibition on homegrown cannabis. Province unveils outdoor visitation spaces at Manitoba care homes. Aphid feces causing sticky mess in Winnipeg. Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine walk-ins for youth to begin at Layla Supersite Wednesday. Figuring out fully vaccinated freedoms. Manitoba's top doctor says restrictions easing, but will still reopen gradually at home. Hair care tips. Manitoba child advocate says report won't solve the problem, only action will. 2 men charged in $1.5 million CDN. Winnipeg cocaine bust. Manitoba officials say recent uptick in first dose appointments is enough to ensure province will meet reopening targets. Manitoba official says vaccine card issues will be corrected very soon. Manitoba Premier Pallister says vaccine card has issues in 3% of cases. Manitoba Premier announces program to help businesses hire employees promising to get vaccinated. The WHO has called Lambda a variant of interest, meaning that while they're keeping an eye on it, it is not yet a variant of concern. To reach variant of concern level, Lambda would have to be shown to be more transmissible, cause more severe illness, or be able to get around existing vaccines and treatments. Right now, we just don't have that proof yet, said Ashley Tuite, an epidemiologist at the University of Toronto. I would say it's not especially concerning at this point, she said. I wouldn't say with any sense of certainty that it's more transmissible than the Alpha or Delta variants that are far more common right now. We're still learning about this variant and what its characteristics are, she said. Health Canada does not currently list Lambda as a variant of interest or concern, though the Public Health Agency of Canada is monitoring the variant and research associated with it. They wrote in a statement to Global News, there are some indications, though, that Lambda might be more transmissible, said Omar Khan, an assistant professor of biomedical engineering and immunology at the University of Toronto's Temeti Faculty of Medicine. There are a lot of different variants out there right now. And we look at the distribution and we're seeing that Lambda is now starting to take up more of the overall proportion of coronavirus infections, which means that it may be more transmissible, he said. That doesn't mean it makes people sicker though, he added. Being highly transmissible does not necessarily mean it causes more severe disease, he said. That's still being looked at. So we'll have to wait until that data comes in. Lambda has some mutations that could make it more easily transmitted or make it more resistant to antibodies, according to the WHO, but there isn't much real-world data yet to confirm that this is the case. Again, it's a bit early to say much conclusively. Tuite cautioned, there was a study that was done in the United States that suggested that the immune response seems to be a little bit less than compared to the wild-type strains, she said. However, the vaccines seem to continue to have a protective response. I don't think at this point there's any piece of data that conclusively says that we need to be worried about this particular variant evading the vaccine response. It's possible, though, that you might need higher antibody levels to fight off Lambda, similar to Delta, Khan said. Tam warns of COVID-19 resurgence in fall if vaccine coverage rate in Canada isn't high. COVID-19. Ontario nearing 20% full vaccination target for Step 2. Protecting young children from COVID-19. Vaccine inequity continues with second dose COVID-19 outbreak hits Ontario's Kashechewan First Nation. 3 people killed in 2 Toronto shootings. Canada's first all-female auto body shop. Could Ontario see a spike in COVID-19 cases after the first reopening weekend? Hundreds pay respects at funeral for Muslim family killed in London. Ontario attack. Nova Scotia announces first case of rare blood clot linked to AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Why filing terrorism charges can prove difficult. New details emerge on suspect in London truck attack. National Council of Canadian Muslims calls on federal government to take action against Islamophobia. Thousands of Ontario businesses to remain under COVID-19 restrictions Friday. Doug Ford says London can ease restrictions to allow gathering at vigil for London attack for an individual. What this means is that it's extra important to get both doses of your vaccine, he said. This can really help maintain a higher antibody level and also give you better memory, so your immune system will be able to react more quickly and produce more antibodies, and that higher concentrations can be helpful. It's also important to get more people vaccinated globally, to avoid more potentially dangerous variants popping up, he added. The last thing we want to do is have more variants of concern come up and for us to need to redevelop a new vaccine to take care of a wildly different version of coronavirus.